Rock the school bells.
Rock the school bells.
Rock the school bells.
Rock the school bell? Yeah.
Rock the school bells.
Rock the school bells.
Rock the school bells.
We rock the school bells.
Rock the School Bells 2008. Peace. This idea was rooted by actually ideas of the students. They wanted to do something like this whole hip-hop conference about educating the youth and students, particularly even the teachers and administrators of the school, about what hip-hop is really all about.
Hip-hop is a culture, it's a mentality, it's a way of life, it's the way you walk, it's the way you wake up in the morning, the way you sleep at night.
Real hip-hop to me means like self-expression and releasing that expression in like one of the 4 elements of hip-hop.
Whether you want to spin a record or whether you want to tag up a wall and be able to communicate the message that you really want to say, even through words and through physical movement like breakdancing.
It's like hip-hop is not just like music, it's also a lifestyle. It's also emceeing, writing, and dancing. So it's important to the youth.
Nowadays, even spoken words, a part of it in poetry, and also art, and like seeing how those are different forms, because everyone expresses themselves differently, and being able to have different mediums to express yourselves, I think, is very useful for youth and young adults.
Hip-hop is not just our subculture, it's pop culture. It's the biggest working mechanism, the biggest force behind entertainment. So if you understand that and alone, that right away, there's a necessity for it.
It's basically about people's cultural or where they came from, their neighborhood.
Hip-hop is everything to me. I'm a producer / rapper, trying to get it going right now. I'm trying to start my own business, build my studio. It's everything. Hip-hop is life.
That hip-hop is really about being you, being able to do what you want to do creatively and being able to express yourself. Set aside everything around you and be you, being able to express yourselves fully.
It's like rappers nowadays, they should rap more about what's more important out there in the world, you know, poverty, how we're living. You know, a lot of people now think that hip-hop is all about the money and chains. It's not all about that.
The generation now that is participating on all this stuff have never lived a world without hip-hop.
They were very discouraged on what they were hearing on the radio and how people perceive what hip-hop is, and so they wanted to have a conference to really educate and empower them in truly defining what hip-hop really is.
I think people don't really know exactly what the meaning of hip-hop is, and like there's a lot of stereotype about hip-hop.
Hip-hop is so dominant in the world that even the schools have to embrace it. 2, the communication has changed so diversely that the parents, the teachers are striving to understand their kids, and hip-hop is one of the ways that they're getting that opportunity to. And then 3, this right here, if we're able to do it in one school, then that means we're able to do it in all schools.
When you say hip-hop, it's actually a negative thing right away. But in their part now, we are being educated by what they're doing. It's a fun for everybody in a younger age.
I don't think education is about always telling somebody to go somewhere. I think it's also about trying to meet somebody at where they're at. And hip-hop is where a lot of people are at right now.
Last year we had about 70 students, and this year we have about 100 students, and we can only see this grow into a bigger conference. We're all about building momentum, and really it's all about getting out to the community and really educating them. And one student came up to me and said, "You know what, Nate, thank you for giving us this opportunity to be able to be educated and empowered, because not so many institutions or schools allow this type of education, you know. And so giving them the opportunity to learn the history, learn the foundations, and then be able to communicate that to their own communities, to their principals and teachers, everything. And I think that this is a great momentum building event, that I see that this event for next year is going to be much larger. I can only see it. We're looking to have not just a one-day conference, but more of a 3-day conference. Having those students in the workshops, we're going to look to them to see if they can also perform in a live concert. So being able to bridge the two, the conference and the concert, and being able to let the youth display their talents, display their skills, display everything they've learned. So associating the two, but we would like to see this on a bigger venue, more days, because one day is definitely not enough to teach.
This is my second year attending RTSB, and it's a greater turnout this year, and we have like more elements and like more perspectives towards hip hop, and like the vibe of it is just escalating with each year.
It's so valuable and it's so important to have these kind of events and conferences, and we're hoping that this is something that can be carried in other institutions, not just at Skyline, but something that can become, like seeing hip-hop as an educational tool rather than just something in the mainstream.
Rock the School Bells is a very, very important thing. One is we've been trying to get our curriculum, first of all, just to become the dance styles to be legitimately accepted. That's a big thing that we've gone through for years and years and years. This particular event is almost fills up your empty cup with saying, finally we're in the schools, finally they accept us, finally people have the interest, you're not forcing them to come in. It's not a school assembly, people chose to come here.
So it gets rid of the misconception about big rims and degrading women. So you get to different workshops, like over here they have graffiti and DJs and all that. And also the proceeds go to giving scholarships to the, I don't know how many they give, but there was. And I think last year the money went to somebody with cancer. They helped them out. So the cause is more than just us getting the money and throwing the next one. It goes beyond that.
Youth nowadays don't have the same freedoms, don't have the same spaces to be creative, like especially in the classrooms, like arts, like the art program, the music programs are no longer in the classrooms, So being able to provide them those spaces for them to explore, I think is really, really important.
Socially, economically, spiritually, there's so many different ways of why it's so positive. And if all of them are positive, then there shouldn't be no reason for it to disappear. It shouldn't be misclassified or anything. This is true American cultural arts.
Hip-hop is such a global phenomenon. It's a universal language, as I mentioned, that this is something that the students and youth really resonate with. And I know that from my own experiences and for those who teaches hip-hop in their classrooms, they know how much it really connects with the students. When you build better students through hip-hop, you build better people in the community. And I think it's building these great citizens in our community to become doctors, to become engineers, to become lawyers, to become artists. Because these are things that hip-hop builds within us. It builds great self-esteem, it builds personal development, it builds confidence. And these are the skills that they need in order to be successful in life. And sometimes art is the medium that takes them there. And so for those the community sponsors out there, this is one opportunity that you really, really want to really connect with, because hip hop is in the future. We see it. And so if we really want to reach the youth and community, hip hop is one of those means.